Hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. It's me, Siobhan Elise, here with Game Changers, and I have the beautiful Kye Alexis.
Hi.
Aren't we glowing tonight, y'all? It is going up on a Wednesday. It is the wonderful month of October, and I don't know about y'all, but I've just been feeling this air of freshness, and I'm so excited to be sitting here with this supermodel, super entrepreneurial, boss babe, Kye.
Hey. I love that intro. Thank you.
You're welcome. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. It's a beautiful day in Miami, and we are busy, we are booked, and we are blessed.
We are blessed.
Yes.
We are. Y'all know we love the Lord on Game Changers.
Amen.
So let's start there. So just to tell you a little bit more about what Kye does, right? So you started off modeling, right?
Yes.
Signed with Wilhelmina.
Yes.
The
Wilhelmina Models.
She's a model, y'all. Like, for real. Then you segued into events. And you are CEO and founder of Priceless One Management.
Yes, that's my baby.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have seen the ladies in the coordinated outfits at all the top Miami events, but those are probably her girls, okay? Yeah. And to top it all off, your newest venture, you are building lofty luxury residences?
Yes, I am an owner at Lofty Residences. It will be open in 2024, so coming soon.
I already told her we're gonna name this episode like Think Big, because nothing that you do is small, and I think it's so powerful for women, especially women of color, to see other women of color really stepping out on faith and being successful at it. So
absolutely.
We're gonna get into like your upbringing. Like, was business something that you were always surrounded by, or did you kind of start entrepreneurship on your own?
Yes, my mother was actually an entrepreneur. She had an event planning company. She used to work with a lot of corporate companies like BP Amoco, Boeing, the airspace, a lot of political events. So she would literally bring me in and I would help set tables. I would help with the registration. I would fill gift bags, little things that a kid could do. And one thing that I always noticed was that she was flexible enough to always pick me up from school, where the other kids had to take the bus home because their parents were working 9 to 5. So, and then I would get in the car and I would hear her conversations with her vendors and, go pick up invitations with her. And I just saw it all firsthand from her. Yeah. So then I started my first company at 11. It was called DreamWorks. It was so cute. It was like paper, like origamis and like different stuff that I would make out of paper because that's all I could do was get stuff from the printer for free. Wow. So I did that. I used to bedazzle headbands when the Bow Wow phase.
Come on now.
I used to do all that stuff
because I was what you're talking about.
I'm gonna make a buck for something. So, but yeah, I really modeled that off of seeing my mother in business, and then my dad was a salesman, so I saw that sales side.
Come on.
And I was like, let me just kind of combine this. So one day I want my own business that's legit and. Did it one day.
Yeah. So you were really an improvement on the design.
Yeah.
Because you have mom who's dealing with all these high corporate clients, right? In events, which is ironically where you ended up. And then you have dad who's in sales, and sales is everything.
Exactly.
Nothing is moving without
real
sales.
Slick talker, yeah.
Wow. It's so interesting that that's your story, because I think I posted something about the proximity principle. And, I was a first generational entrepreneur. Many of our listeners are first generational entrepreneurs. So,
love it.
It's important that we touch on who you're around, because that influences you. And even when I look at my son and his upbringing, he's always talking about making money. He's always talking about selling. And I'm like, where do you get this from? And
mommy.
Right. I mentioned it on the phone. I'm like, he's just a little too money crazy. And they were like, he get it from you.
Right. And you know what happened with me? My parents, I used to always want the new Air Force Ones, the new Jordans, the new Timberland boots.
Yes.
And they would say okay, you can get that. You just got to pay for it yourself.
That'll do it.
So I wasn't like raised spoiled. It was
Yeah.
like like you have to earn what you're buying. Like all these, you can get the necessities.
Right.
Get your school uniform, the things you
Right.
need. But you want all that extra expensive stuff, you got to buy it yourself. And I did.
That's
like,
right.
I saved my money. I was selling candy in high school, girl. I did it all. I was making my bucks.
Listen.
You know? And fly too.
I know that's right. 'Cause listen, ain't nothing like earning some money. Like it just spends so much better when you know you work for it, and especially
Yeah, exactly.
you a kid, you ain't got no bills.
Yeah, and that's all I could buy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy all of it then. Like,
Yeah. No, my experience was definitely the same. I mean, obviously, I come from a working class family, but they did instill the value of hard work and earning a dollar. I was like a dancer for the auxiliary team.
Oh, nice.
I loved
was a
it.
dancer too.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And we had to buy these uniforms, and they're like $1,400.
Oh,
I know.
I don't miss that.
And
I don't miss
she
that.
was like, I'm not buying that. So, I would say every summer I had to work, and she signed me up for this little program where I would get these jobs at like City Hall, like good jobs in high school.
Nice.
And during the school year, I would do hair, I would do makeup, I would do creative stuff. But it was like, I know I have to have X amount of money for this. And then I got used to it. And it's just nice to have your own. It's nice to work.
Absolutely. No handouts over here, okay? We making it happen for ourselves.
I know that's right. Like the soft life is earned.
Exactly. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. You need to know. So, how has it been getting in the field when it comes to managing your events company?
Well, I started with that entrepreneurial spirit with my mother, saw how she managed the events. But then I joined some other organizations like in high school and college. And one thing that was always instilled in me as well was like being involved in your school. So in high school, I was in like 4 different organizations. I was in like public health. I was on the dance team. I was on the cross country team. I was on the debate team, like everything, right? But I just knew I wanted to be a leader.
Yeah.
I grew up kind of an only child. My siblings are 13 years plus older than me.
Okay.
So I was just like, I want to be able to lead somehow. That just was instilled in me. So when I joined these organizations, I wanted to be on the leadership committees. I wanted to be on the boards. And then when I went to Spelman, I joined a committee, and the next year they voted me to be the head of 2 different committees.
Okay.
And then the next year I was the president of one. Okay. So, and that was all by vote. And I was like, okay, like this is teaching me my leadership skill at a young age. And like, especially at Spelman, I realized my biggest lesson was you can't make people work for free. Because
you can't.
Ooh, I remember one talent show we had to put on, and like we did on and off campus events, and it was mostly around service, like giving back, fundraisers, things like that. And I remember we put on a talent show, and like I did not get a lot of help, but this talent show was happening in a week. Okay. And some people in the organization didn't help me as much as I would have liked to, so I had to like buckle down and plan it myself, you know, because they're dependent on our organization to put it on. I'm the leader, so what I gotta do, I gotta do what I gotta do. Okay, And that talent show was great. It was a good time, and I was in the talent as well. I was the talent.
Come on now.
Also.
Not let me take my hat off and go get on the stage.
Oh my God, I got on stage, girl.
Girl,
Really
so
funny.
my next question is, what vitamins are you taking? Because where are you getting all this energy from?
Girl, you know what? I'm very adamant about staying healthy, working out. I lifted my weights this morning. I take my walk around the park with my dog every morning. Yeah. I'm very much into like just keeping myself together. I want to stay young forever.
Yes.
And, you know, like the exercise part, I eat really healthy, really clean. So I've always kind of been about that. It's just like keeping myself up so that we can stay nice. And, you know, it's a journey. It wasn't always like this. It's a journey.
Talk about it.
It's always a new step to it because, you know, America don't want you to be healthy. But,
I know.
You know,
I mean, for me, like,
levels.
I believe health is wealth, and I do exercise moderately. I try to eat clean. But when you're busy, that convenience monster creeps in, And, there's fast food on every corner. So I'm just being real.
That's how they get you.
They get me they got me right before I came here. And so now I got to sit here and tuck my shirt down because I'm trying. So
no, I feel
do you have any tips for those who just want to optimize our performance and want to be healthy, but we just need a little extra help?
I'm very big on like prepping. So there's deliveries, there's convenience in healthy food, right?
Talk about it.
So I have a service that sends me meals to my house every Monday. And I don't have to go grocery shopping. I actually hate going to the grocery store. So I don't grocery shop. I get these meals sent to me. It's fresh organic meals. And I'll get like 20 cents a week. And then I'll take like Monday, maybe Wednesday, and just cook as many of them as I can in a night without taking my whole night. And then put them in Tupperware. And then look, I got lunch the next day. I had it right before I came here.
Okay.
Where I'm like, all right, I have food that I can just simply warm up. And I know it's good. It's whole grain food.
Okay.
It's nothing processed. So I'm big on that. And then you can pick your meals too. Do I want vegetarian today? Do I want a little fish? Do I want chicken? And I pick my menu and it comes delivered.
Okay, so can you tell us the name of that company? Because
Okay, I'll tell you the name as long as y'all use my promo code.
come on now, we will.
It's called Sunbasket.
Okay.
And I've been using it for the last 7 years.
Really?
Yeah, it's good. It's so convenient, and I love the way I feel after I eat those meals. And it's different stuff. You get some Mediterranean, some some South American food.
Okay.
And then they have some kind of like country food too, like some Southern food, your traditional American food. But then like it's just so many different things.
Options,
I get some good Asian options in there, and it's things you can't just find at the store. Spices you don't get at the store. Where I'm like,
I'm excited.
This is new.
As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to go on their website because
elevate that palate.
It's been such a struggle for me because like I've been super consistent with working out, but it's my diet. And
it all comes from your diet. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that was a game-changing gym. Thank you.
And I just actually have been watching this show on Netflix, Live to 100. Oh. And I really, I'm obsessed with that show. It's only 4 episodes, but I'm going to watch it again because it talks about what are some traits that blue zones around the world do to stay living so long. Blue zones are basically people that, or communities where people like have a longer lifespan. So it's places in Italy, it's a place in Japan. They actually have a place in California too. Okay. And it just shows like what are the traits? Like what do you do every day that keeps you so healthy? What is your mindset like? What do you eat? Things like that. Like how do you live? And it just kind of gives you like 4 different traits that they all carry collectively to show how they live so long. Yeah. And there's a man on there in Costa Rica, he's 100 and he looked like he's 70, smooth skin.
Really?
Like, still out here managing his farm. I'm like, yes. Like, you know.
I'm actually going to, you're dropping too many gems. Okay?
Girl, I got the gems, okay? I got the gems.
And I love that we landed here because it's easy to focus on the outside and be like, oh, you have all these great things. But like, we forget what we have control over. Our health. Absolutely. Our mindset, our habits. You know, these are keys to our success.
Absolutely.
Because there's no way that Dick and Harry are going to go out and be the lead of 2 organizations and scale a management company and model and, you know, and all the things that you do eating fried chicken, McDonald's, and Burger King. And that's just a real deal that we struggle with in our community. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all check out Sunbasket. And what's your promo code?
Oh, I got to send you the link. So we're going to drop the link. Okay, we're going to drop the link.
We got you. So we talked about the diet. We talked about the habits. Let's talk a little bit more about the mindset. Like I said, I love that you seem to move without limits when it comes to stepping into a new space. Have you always had that faith in yourself?
Absolutely. Again, I kind of grew up as an only child, so I had to always think for myself. I couldn't really depend on others for things. So I said, what do I want for me? And I love that I got a chance to move to Miami because I grew up in Chicago on the South Side, and You know, it's not. It's some bad people over there sometimes. A lot of people are stressed out sometimes, and I was thankful to. I always told myself I wanted to live somewhere where it's warm, because
Right.
I had to go somewhere where it was more for me. And one, it's warm here, but two, that sunlight and the water makes me happy.
Yeah.
So one, I'm in an environment that makes me happy. All year long, Two, I'm able, when I moved here, it was like a start fresh type of thing. And it was like, all right, well, what do I want to do? The world is my oyster. And when I moved here, I was like, I want to become a model. Yeah. So that's what I went and did. I graduated college and I said, let me try to get signed by an agency. Yeah. And I got rejected quite a few times with the whole, we already have girls that look like you. And it's like one little mixed girl on the agency team, but it's okay. Somebody ended up signing me, and then I flourished from there. And I had to realize, like, with mindset, like, one, keep going. Yeah. Two, don't let those no's deter you, because especially in the modeling agency, like, it's going to be a lot of no's.
Yeah.
And then three, like, one thing that I just go by all the time is, like, don't let people stress you out, because I just can't. Like, I don't. Yeah. It's crazy. My team is always like, you just don't, like, you don't stress out about stuff. You don't yell about it. Like, I just refuse to let other people, like, get me to a place where I'm, like, screaming and yelling and, like, like, that's just not me.
Right.
Like, you just gotta handle the situation and keep it moving. So, yeah.
Good stuff. Let's unpack. Okay, so the first thing I heard you say is you because you're only a child, because you were an only child, Jesus, you had a lot of time to think. So
much.
Even
we had no phones.
Right. Just in your room, doodling.
In the room, listening to music, just thinking.
And although I wasn't the only child, I spent a lot of alone time. And that was, I can attest to that. That is very valuable at a young age, especially to get to know who you are at your core and what you want. And by the time you were ready to leave home or ready to start your life, you knew, hey, Kye likes sun, Kye likes water, okay, Kye likes warm weather. So you were able to walk into something that was already aligned for you. You weren't living out of anyone else's expectations. You had really done that self-discovery.
It's so crazy. I used to ride down my street, King Drive, and I used to be just shivering. And I used to look at the light poles and be like, these are palm trees in Miami that we're riding past. Like, just shivering. And I had never even been to Miami at that point.
What?
And I remember I was like listening to Rick Ross too.
You manifested this life, clearly.
I literally manifested it.
Heavy.
And my best friend had to remind me of that. She was like, remember you said that you were like looking at palm trees in the light poles in Chicago while we're freezing? I was like, dang, I really did do that.
It's so funny. We're kids and we don't even realize how powerful we are.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I manifested at a young age and didn't even know it. So,
because we just, our mind is free. And then that goes back again to saying, don't let nobody stress you out. You need your spirit to be light. You need your spirit to be positive, to be able to not only manage the life that you have built, the life that I have built, but to be able to stretch further. Because if you got all this stuff on your back and holding all this stuff in your heart that we can't control anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
How are we going to move up?
Right.
All we can do is control the way we respond and keep it
those
pushing.
Reactions are everything.
Girl.
Your reaction to situations, that's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with managing so many people. So I hear that your management company has grown to about 3,000 employees. Girl, how do you manage this?
Well, I have a team now.
Okay.
I didn't have a team at first. We're 8 years old, and as of this year, we added 2 more. So now we have a team of 7.
Okay.
And we are small but mighty.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. But, before that, I was in every single department of the company. Now we have a recruiting department. Okay. So they help to find more people. Like we're doing a whole revamp actually right now of our database, and it's going well. Like we have different practices in place, just things to like help us elevate and get better as an agency.
That's amazing.
So at first, it's so funny. Today I was looking through all of our pictures, and I sent some of my old classmates from Spelman pictures. Like, remember you did that gig for me? I was hiring my friends,
right?
Like straight friends. Yeah. Like, hey girl, can you show up for this promo real quick? I know you don't do this, but like, you mind making $40 an hour? Right. And they're like, all right. So it really started with me hiring just friends.
Oh, that's
and then
dope.
It grew into like referrals and then reaching out to people, and eventually it just got to the point where I couldn't handle everything, so I had to start building.
That's dope. Yeah. I think that it's always really special to see businesses make it to that point.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
There are some that don't. You stop at that level.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice when it comes to scaling a business or properly funding and structuring a business?
You know what? Not completely when it comes to funding. I started this company with $300. I've never had an investor. Never. I did take a loan during 2020, but paid that back.
Wow.
Never really like. I was never one to ask for money because, again, I'm so used to just earning everything.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know when I started the business that I could ask for money. Had no clue.
I just learned.
Yeah. So really it was a matter of getting enough business going and not paying myself for 4-5 years.
Okay.
To then saying, okay, I need somebody to help me push this forward while I continue to bring business in. And then we got to a point where it was like, oh, we're getting big deals. We're getting, very consistent clients. Like, wow, I can finally take a salary, wow, I can finally pay someone else a salary. Wow, I can hire someone else part-time. Wow, I can probably make them full-time now.
Yeah.
So that has started to happen. And I honestly say it's by the grace of God, because no one ever really showed me how to do this. It was just that entrepreneurial mindset. It's paying attention to businesses. I like to pay attention to things that fail so I can learn from them.
Right.
Even like failed relationships, failed businesses, like things that people do wrong in life. Like I like to pay attention to those things so I can model myself the opposite way. And so I think that was something that I saw in other businesses where like, nope, I'm not going to make that mistake.
Right.
Let me go slow. Let me not take too much risk.
Right.
And it's worked so far.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing to see. Now we're $1 million company. So
We're a what company?
Oh, we're $1 million company. Started with $300.
Okay.
300.
Let's clap it up for that.
No
right
investors.
there.
I'm my own investor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart is full. It really is. Like, that's dope.
Yeah. It's really dope to just look back and be like, dang, I built this. Like,
you built that.
It's crazy.
And you look like you love it too.
I do. It's really fulfilling that I'm putting money in other people of color's pockets. And then it's also fulfilling to see my clients that are like, oh my God, your staff did so great representing my brand. Because we're providing them with the people that are representing the brand that they're passionate about.
Right.
So when I see that they're happy, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
And then when the staff are like, I had so much fun. Here's a picture. I love seeing those pictures.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, you had a good time. You're welcome, girl. So it really just the thank you of it all, makes me happy. That's what makes my heart full.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. It's just like sharing what you love with others and just seeing it grow into its own thing.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful thing.
It's beautiful.
So what role, if any, does your faith and spirituality play into the grand scheme of things?
Well, I grew up in the church, so that's one. Always been a praying person, but I have to say, like, there's been many times where I didn't know where the company was going to go. And I just had to depend on God. Like, just until maybe last year, our entire business was like referrals, just people like, hey, someone told me about your company. Can you do this, staff this for us? We've never had a marketing team. We've never really like pitched to anybody.
Wow.
People just found us. And I'm like, that's all God right there.
Yeah.
Knowing that I've started this company and I'm putting money in people's pockets. I'm blessing people and I'm not being greedy. The work will come, and it is, like, to know that everything has been referral based, like, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Oh
man.
Like, I didn't really know what a RFP was for a very long time because I didn't have to pitch at all. Like, it was just coming in just off the strength of like relationships and word of mouth. So that was God.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it, girl?
And God, like I've said it on several episodes, God, this is God's, all of this. Like, and he was like, use your voice, use your voice. This opportunity came about. And I didn't know anything about media at all. I didn't study this. I had no experience.
Gotta do it.
I just did it. And it's like, when God is in something, it doesn't always make sense. Like, for you to invest $300,
$300.
and it's like, it doesn't, I can't compute. Because
I had to do it all myself. I was the website builder. I was the accountant. My mom did come in and help, though.
Okay, give mama some credit, right?
She did come in, because who else am I going to look at as an entrepreneur than my mother, the one I'm like, the one that I learned it from. And I remember her coming in. She was actually in town. She was like, all right, Kylie, we got to get this website together.
Yeah.
Because we got to change this, and this, these words. You can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And she helped me whip it together. She actually still does my payroll. So who else am I going to trust other than my mother with my money?
Like Mama Bear.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did get some help from her. But other than that, like, all the other little things, like, it was like, we just got to build it ourselves. We can't really afford to hire somebody to do it. So I had to learn, how to build the website, be a graphic designer, and, I had to learn how to do everything.
Just really trust that, it's going to get done.
Yeah.
That same spirit in college.
By any means.
I don't know, but it's going to get done. And I think that God really blesses that, because it shows, like, number one, your tenacity.
Right.
Your faith in him, your faith in yourself. And like, it gives him room to just show out.
Yep.
Because it's like, you can't put it on nobody else but God.
Exactly.
And I think more people need to see people like you, because there's this idea that to be successful and to build $1 million company, you may have to compromise your morals, or, and it's not true.
No.
It's not true.
No handouts. Didn't compromise anything. Just hard work.
Yeah.
Some sleepless nights, but my husband will tell you, he'll be like, dang, Kylie, you still up at 2 a.m? I'm like, yeah, this proposal got to get done.
Right.
Like,
and she's a wife. Come on, we didn't even say is a wife. Like, girl. So let's talk about that. I was going to wrap it up, but because I'm single, and guys are funny.
Oh, it's ghetto out here. I've heard a lot.
Guys are funny, and I will say, there is a spirit of bitterness in the hearts of men right now, because especially when it comes to women who are entrepreneurs or work for themselves, because it's just like they feel as though that is a threat.
The intimidation is real. Yeah,
and
I see that in a lot of my friends.
I don't know if it's real, because I never felt like you can't do both.
Yeah, I think it's more so like seeing the traditional woman and man, and the man being the provider, and the woman like being the housewife. Like, that's kind of that traditional thing that is changing. Women are bosses now.
Yeah.
Women are elevating at a very high rate, So I think it's a matter of like men also understanding that and supporting that, and like looking at that as a privilege. Like, my woman ain't just got her hand out. Like, we're building together.
Come on.
Like let's build
that's
something.
Partnership.
Exactly.
That's the purpose.
Yeah.
I would think.
Definitely. So yeah, I think our men just have to get used to that and knowing that this is a beautiful thing if you find a woman that is doing her thing. Like don't look at it as a threat. That's amazing. Like that's the one you want to keep. That's wifey material. What you mean?
That's what we're saying. Okay, we just want to hear it from you on the other side because I don't know what's going on, but no, what you're doing is amazing, Kye. And I know that you have more blessings to come.
Thank you.
Do you mind sharing?
Yes, I actually am pregnant. I'm going to be having my baby in January. So I'm having a little girl. So I'll be on my first maternity leave, which I'm like, ugh, how are we going to do this? But hey, it's okay. God. I'm excited about this. I've been with my husband almost 11 years, almost 12 years. Wow. And it's time. Mm-hmm. So time to build that family. We're working on getting our house right now. Mm-hmm. And it's just like an exciting time in our lives. Like the company's growing. He's growing in his career, and we're having a baby. So,
man, God bless you guys. I'm so happy for you. I know this is our first one-on-one, but you have such a kind spirit. I love everything that you're doing, and I'm happy that God is blessing you guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I mean, usually we do game-changing gems, but I think you dropped so many up in there. So I will just have you let them know, where can we connect with you to stay in touch?
You can always connect with me on Instagram. I'm always on the gram at Kye Alexis, KyeAlexis. And yeah, I'm there. My email address is in the bio. I'm on LinkedIn, Kylie Russell on LinkedIn. Real name, Kylie Russell. Stage name, Kye Alexis, okay? But yeah, I'm around. I'm always attending events, not after January, but I'm always attending events, and we're having a good time, and I'm happy to enjoy y'all's energy too. So, yeah.
All right, y'all. So there you have it. And y'all already know, special thanks to our sponsor here at Boss Nations, bringing bosses together in real time.
Yes.
And thank you guys for still choosing yourself and your journey and being committed to growing and evolving together. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.